Sometimes there's a mystery detectives cannot solve. Their problems only multiply, solutions just evolve. And then comes the great divide that splits things all apart. Then you need the master, a man with math and heart. He's Abacus the Great, he'll clear up all suspicion. He'll distribute, regroup, solve for X, cause he's a math magician. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, all things which he excels. Polygons, fractions, a man of many spells. The steps are simple, one by one, the numbers infinite. For help in math, both big and small, call Abacus the Great! Hello, apprentices, and welcome back. I, Abacus the Great, am here to teach you about multiplication. Take Toya here, for example. She can read a book in 3 days. So how many books can she read in 7? Before we get into that, nor any of the teaching, let's take it to Helix for our song this week.
If you need to multiply, think arrays like 5 by 5, 4 by 6, and 3 by 8. Count the dots and you are great. To multiply is easy, just count the dots that you can see. Another way to multiply is to add that many times. 8 2 times is 8 plus 8. 8 3 times add another 8. This has a special name, repeated addition. This is how you multiply.
All right. So multiplication can be defined by area models, arrays, or repeated addition. Let's travel down in the computer, take a closer look at this. All right, now as I said, there are 3 different ways that we can think of multiplication. The area model, the array, or repeated addition. Let's take a look at each of those one by one. Okay, the first of those would be the area model. Let's just take the problem, we'll say 3 times 5. Okay, so if I've got 3 times 5, this is going to be very similar to what you saw Helix do in his with his arrays, where the area model is just going to make it a rectangle. I have 3 rectangles I have 3 rows of squares by 5 rows of squares to make one rectangle that is 3 by 5. So if you think about it, there's my 3. Now I want to make that by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got 3 one direction. I've got 5 the other direction. We could count each of those one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we get that same thing. An array is very similar, except arrays just use dots rather than turning it into a rectangle. So if I were to go to the brush here, and let's just pick a size that's going to give me a decent sized dot, I go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and I've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That is 3 times 5. And I could count those again. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Another great aspect of this is that repeated addition, or if you can get past the addition to just skip counting, that works fantastically as well. So let's just think of it as 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so we've got 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That is 3 5 times. Okay? Again, these pictures are the same thing. I've got 3, 2 threes, 3 threes, 4 threes, 5 threes. I have 3 5 times. Or here, I've got 1 2 3, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I have 3 5 times no matter how I look at that. So if I just think about this, I've got 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 3 plus 3 was 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, or 3, add 3, add 3, add 3, add 3 is 15. So that gives us the 3 different methods for multiplication. Again, we had the area model, we have an array, or we have repeated addition. This is 3 different ways that we can represent just the very basics of multiplying. Okay, let's take a look at one more problem and then we'll move back to Toya, our question from the very beginning. Let me hone into what you're thinking. In your mind right now, I'm seeing a 5. Let me jump to somebody else's mind. Somebody else out right there. Let's see. In somebody else's mind, I'm seeing a 6. So we'll take a look at 5 multiply 6. Let's start with an area model. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we need 6 groups of those 5. I need that 5 6 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I've got that 5, and I've got that 5 6 different times. If we think about that through our array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now again, I can just think about that as a group. So there's one group of 5. There's 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5, 5 groups of 5, and 6 groups of 5. Or again, we can think about it as our repeated addition. We have 1 5, 2 5s, 3 5s, 4 5s, 5 5s, and 6 5s. Okay? All of those are going to get us what our answer to 5 multiply 6 is. We could again count our squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay? Or we've got our 5 groups of 5 here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or we have our 5 groups, or our 6 groups of 5 there. That was 6 groups of 5s as well. 5, add 5 is 10, add 5 is 15, add 5 is 20, add 5 is 25, add 5 is 30. So no matter what, we have 30 squares, we have 30 dots, or if I just do the repeated addition, that is 30. Remember, you need to try and memorize those facts. If I were to just give you a test here, and I were to ask you, what is 5 times 3? Hopefully you're saying 15. What is 9 times 2? 18. What is 10 times 4? 40. What is 2 times 3? 2, 2, 2, 6. Okay, again, those basic math facts. And really you want to get through your 12s. All of your 1s, again, skip counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Okay, come up with little songs, come up with little jingles. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72. And I'm just making these up off the cuff. Okay? Come up with jingles, come up with songs, come up with some way to help you get those math facts memorized. Now let's go back to Toya. Now, our information that we knew was that Toya took 3 days to read one book. And we wanted to know how long it would take her to read 7 books. So this is understanding what 7 multiply 3 is. Now, we can think about this a lot of different ways. We could think about it as 1 times 3 is 3. Now, we want to do this for all the way to 7 times 3. Now remember, we want to figure out what all of these are up to 7 multiply 3. Okay, now let's think about our area model. In that diagram there, we have columns of 3, and we have 7 of those columns. Let's think about that as an array. In that array there, we have rows of 3. So those rows of 3, or those columns of 3 in the area model, are each going to tell us what 7 times 3 is. Remember, we can also think about that as repeated addition. That repeated addition shows us what it looks like to write out 3 7 times. So all we would have to do is skip count those like we've done there, or add them all together. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21. It would take her 21 days to read 7 books. Okay, let's take a trip out of the computer for just a sec to go to this week's problem from one of our apprentices. Today's question comes to us from an apprentice named Danny. He sent me this email. Dear Abacus, my mom expects me to do 3 chores a day every day of the week. I don't have to do chores on the weekends, but she's only going to give me $4 a day. I want to buy Minecraft for my PlayStation, but it costs $60. How long will it take me to earn the money for my new video game? Thanks for your help, Danny. Well, Danny, I am glad to help you. She's going to give you, for 3 chores, $4 a day, right? Well, if you're not doing chores on the weekends, that means you're doing chores 5 different days. $4 a day times 5 days, that means you are earning $20 a week. First off, that seems like a pretty good deal. Now, you want to know how many weeks you're going to have to do $20 worth of chores to earn your $60 video game. So if we're thinking about this through our multiplication mindset, 20 times what is going to equal 60? Well, we can do our skip counting, we could do repeated addition, or we could think about it as its fact family of division. 60 divided by 20 is what? But if you think about it, let's just count by 20s. 20, 40, 60. 20 times 3 is 60, so it's going to take you, Danny, 3 weeks to earn your video game. Okay, so for today's magic trick, you and I are going to come up with a math problem. I have written the answer to that math problem underneath that white box right over there. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay, I want you to multiply that number by 10. Got your answer? Okay, now I want you to half that number. So divide it by 2. So you thought of a number, multiplied it by 10, divided it by 2. Now subtract your original number. So you thought of a number, you multiplied it by 10, you divided that by 2, and then you subtracted your original number. Let me just slide this box out of the way. Answer was 5, huh? I've got something really cool in store for next week. A little less math, a little more STEM, but all sorts of magic. You're not going to want to miss it. That's it for today. Until next time, as always, make sure your math is magical. Like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that thumbs up down at the bottom. If you want to keep up on the future videos that I've got coming out, make sure you click that subscribe. There are many different ways that you can get in contact with Abacus the Great. You can comment on the video down below. You can email me at abacusthegreats2020@gmail.com, Or if you would like to record your very own question for Abacus, it could be a math question, see if you can stump him, then go to flipgrid.com/abacusthegreat. You're going to use the code MATH to get into that, and then get recording, guys. Send them to me. You can also email me a question, and I will read it on the air if you don't feel like recording it. Until next time, peace and love, everybody.